Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland. This video is about the cultural appropriation furore relating to jerk rice. A short while ago, Jamie Oliver, the celebrity chef, he launched a product of his culinary brand called jerk rice. He has been savaged by a Labour MP named Dawn Butler. Now, Miss Butler has previous, in terms of race baiting, accusing the Prime Minister, Theresa May, of being personally racist because of the Windrush immigrants not getting their permanent residency sorted promptly. So Dawn Butler is the sort of person who likes to say that well nigh all is racialist and bangs on with this bogus concept of institutional racism. Now, she ought to be careful about this because there's a boy who cried wolf syndrome here. If you false accuse people of racism a lot, then you will no longer be believed even when your accusations are true. It shows Miss Butler's stupidity, dishonest and malice that she should be in such a tizzy over jerk rice. And she said there is no such thing as jerk rice. Well, things can change. We innovate. Windrush would be an example of this. We can improve by changing on many occasions. So she is one of the permanently indignant. Imitation is flattery, so they say. And as Jamie Oliver, who's white, who's got no Caribbean ancestry, as far as I know, wishes to copy a type style of cooking which was invented in the Antilles, well, this should be seen as a compliment. Well, look how far we have to come. If jerk rice is all we've got to complain about, then race relations are wonderful. So with this jerk rice, he's getting it a bit wrong, so I'm told. There's only such a thing as jerk chicken. Now, I have been to Jamaica and a few other Caribbean countries, and I have supped upon chicken there. Was I dining on jerk chicken? I'm not sure, actually. I don't know what it is, and I don't really care. It's not terribly important. But we can pick and mix our cultures, and likewise in the kitchen, we innovate. We take a bit of this ingredient and that thing, and we come up with a new style. There's coronation chicken, for example, invented in 1953 for the Queen's coronation. So what is cultural appropriation? Well, I suppose it's borrowing from another culture, but I think especially people do it in a less than respectful fashion. That's what some people complain about. People often get it a bit wrong when they adopt tropes from other cultures. For instance, St. Patrick's Day parades in the United States, these men are invariably wearing Scots kilts, not Irish kilts. So they're getting a little bit wrong, but you know, Irish culture is not that strict. We almost never wear kilts anyway. And yes, we have a lot in common with Scotland. Dare I say, we have a great deal in common with England. That's heresy. But anyway, so we learn from each other. Cultures are not hermetically sealed. Oddly, Dawn Butler, she seems to have echoed the sentiments of Tucker Carlson, this white supremacist American shock jock on tacos, saying tacos are not Mexican, they're American, they're my tacos. Well, he's been such an ignoramus, not realizing it's something that's borrowed from Mexico. Absolutely fine for people in the United States to eat them, even though those are not remotely Hispanic and enjoy them, because there's a bit of give and take. We learn from other cultures, other parts of the world. It's impossible to strictly define what one culture is and set up some sort of cordon sanitaire between one culture and another. Yes, we can borrow from other cultures, they borrow from ours. And it's not absolutely clear where things originated. It doesn't even matter. Jamie Oliver's got his other brand of restaurants, Jamie's Italian. Nobody seems to throw a tantrum over him emulating Italian cuisine. Why should they? But what a bigot Miss Butler is. She's so judgmental, being furious that he's invented this thing called jerk rice. So whatever it is that flavours chicken to be jerk chicken, he's now doing that to rice, I suppose. We have a melting pot. By ardent advocates of mass immigration like Miss Butler often tell us it's a many splendid thing. And indeed it does add to the gaiety of the nation. The United Kingdom is no longer so monochrome, so dull as it was, relatively insipid. Labour's supposed to like sharing, so why not share each other's culture? What's a real buzzword for the liberal left? Diversity, isn't it? Well, it can be a good thing. Is that a bit of diversity? There's a bit of a mixture in cuisine, and we adopt elements from other styles of cooking, and we mix them together. What's so bad about that? We can be mixed race, we can be mixed culture, we can have a blend of different cuisines. So I think his mélange in the kitchen doesn't have to be such a terrible thing. It is staggering that someone like Miss Butler should want cultural apartheid. That if you're a black Caribbean person, can you cook this? Can you make this? And if you're a white Briton like Jamie Oliver, you can't. That's absolutely not allowed. It's outrageous that he should buy anything from the West Indies and want to enjoy it. Do we really need culinary segregation? Who does that serve? I mean, it's preposterous. Cultures are not preserved in aspic. They're not kept the same for all time. They evolve, they develop. As I say, we transmit cultural influences, we absorb cultural influences, and we are much richer for it. This is part of life's splendid tapestry. And so that is the way forward. Not trying to rigidly separate one culture from the next and say, no, we can never innovate. Labour is supposed to be progressives, believe in progress. Now, unfortunately, quite a lot of people have joined on the bandwagon and have continued railing against Jamie Oliver, a fairly unobjectionable chap who did a lot for unemployed young people, training them to be chefs. So I don't think jerk chicken is preserved for all time. It can change a little bit. It doesn't really matter to me what the recipe is. It's preposterous to think that cultures are changeless and unchanging. We all learn from each other. We should be a bit open-minded, not so judgmental, and not willing to get furious over such a triviality. So there we are. I hope this whole jerk rice thing will calm down. People are saying there's jerk chicken. There's no such thing as jerk rice. Well, there is now. But by the way, Jamie, if you're marketing this product in America, I would suggest you change the name to something other than jerk.